very, very first lesson, before we learn any chords, before we learn any strum patterns, before we learn finger picking, scales, melody, we have to learn how to tune our ukulele, how to hold our ukulele, and how to strum our ukulele. My name is Tyler from 10 Thumbs, and I'm breaking down this first lesson on my lovely Flight Baritone Aurora, working with Flight to bring you this series to jumpstart your baritone learning. Very happy that you joined us. Make sure you check out the descriptions in these videos to help you aid along with your learning, everything you need to build up these skills. And with this, you're going to be able to go on to play all your favorite musics, jam, create your own covers, write your own songs. The sky's the limit, but we need to start at the beginning, all right? And that is first getting in tune. The easiest way to do this is with a clip-on tuner. You can get tuners on your phone as well. There's a couple kinds. I encourage you to get something called chromatic. Why? Because chromatic tunes to any note. So you can use your chromatic tuner for your baritone and your other ukuleles, as well as a guitar in the house, a bass. If you have a friend that brings over a sitar, they can use a chromatic tuner. If you use an ukulele tuner, then you're limited to traditional tunings. Now, this particular tuner here has a button right in the bottom here with a C, and that C means chromatic. If I cycle through, now as a G for guitar, sorry, I got to keep turning it to see what that says. B for bass. V, I'm assuming V's violin. U for ukulele, standard ukulele. Another U for baritone, and then back to C. Now the way this works is you clip it onto your headstock like this, and you're able to see it. You can turn it up to you. I'm going to try to do this where you can follow along with me, but you want to be able to see what it's playing there. Now, when I strike my string, it's going to read the pitch. We want this note to be a D note, and we want this to be green. Green is in tune. Now, if I were to tune this to the down, you see here, now it's saying, let me get in tight. Hopefully a little tighter will make it a little easier to see. If I pluck my lowest string here, C sharp. C sharp is below. So I need to bring it up in pitch. If I see it going up towards D and hear the sound coming up, that means I'm going up in pitch, going the right way. I want to keep on turning this, and I'm turning counterclockwise. If your strings are on correctly, counterclockwise on this side will bring you up in pitch. If you put them on backwards though, know that it's going to go the other way. Turning counterclockwise until it turns green. Green means I'm in pitch. This next note needs to be a G note. F. F sharp. That's what that little pound sign right there means, sharp. There's a note between F and G called F sharp. We want to keep that in mind. Turning it counterclockwise to bring it up in pitch. Now it's G, but you can see I still am not green, so I'm flat. Keep on turning. And you want to pluck and let it ring a little bit. You don't want to pluck, 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 pluck and let it ring. All right, green. What happens if I go past it? You see how now it's gone past the G? That means I'm above my note, and I need to come down in pitch. I'm sharp in pitch. B. Okay, again, my B's flat, so I'm going to turn clockwise on this side or away from me until I'm in pitch, and here E's flat. Bring it up. Now a tuner on the phone is going to work the exact same way, all right? D's in pitch. Stop ringing the strings before you pluck the next one. G's in pitch. Next string. B is in pitch. Next string, E is in pitch. D, G, B, E. Standard tuning. All right, now let's zoom out and let's talk about how to strum and hold it. I'm a little bit of a cowboy. You're not the best one in the world. In fact, if I'm out camping too long, I might be one that complains a little bit. But I can start a fire with just one match, and I'm pretty good at knowing if it's going to rain. So I say that to let you know I hold my ukulele like a cowboy. Cowboys are going to have and I say cowboy because we're referring to cowboy chords and kind of emulating what a steel string acoustic would look like. And that is going to have the fretboard here is going to be parallel with the ground. Okay? This part of my ukulele here, I'm resting it right over my thigh. So get it parallel, and then to make my life a little easier, I'm gonna angle it just a couple of degrees. This is probably 15 degrees away from 20 degrees. If you're good at geometry, let me know how many degrees you think it is. This is how I like to have my ukulele. Now, if I were to hold it, the butt here, I can also hold it at more of an angle. And instead of putting this over my thigh, put this part on my thigh, and then the fretboard will be at more of a 45-degree angle, and this is more of a classic. Let me bring the camera up. Now, this is more of a classical look. Again, this part here is on my thigh now, and I'm playing it at a 45-degree angle. This also works, and in fact, this can be a little bit easier. Experiment with the two and see which one works for you. If you're playing standing up, a strap is going to make it a lot easier, but I encourage you to learn sitting down and then find what fits best. And then after that, if you want to strap it to your body where it sits the same way it sits when you're sitting down. So if I had a strap and I played ukulele in the classical position, I would want it sitting like this. But we're going back to the cowboy. That's what I prefer. Of the two, choose the one that's more comfortable with you. Again, classical, you're gonna rest this. Right hand, right thigh. Left hand, left thigh. And if you're a cowboy, you're gonna rest it more here. Right hand, right thigh. Left-handed, left thigh. All right, so let's get back to the other angle. Back in our cowboy position, we're gonna make our first chord a G chord. So I'm gonna put my ring finger on the 3rd fret. These lines are called frets. Okay, this is your nut, and then after that, each one's a fret. After your nut between the 1st fret, this is referred to as the 1st fret. 2nd fret, 3rd fret. We're gonna take our ring finger, put it on the 1, 2, 3rd fret. This is your first chord, and it's called a G chord. Now we want to learn how to strum. When strumming the ukulele, you're not gonna just loosey-goose your hand. You're gonna use your index finger. You're gonna strum down. The best place is north of the sound hole, but south of where the fretboard meets the body. Somewhere in this area here. If you strum over the hole, your finger can get caught on the strings a little easier. Here it's gonna go through nice. Now you don't want to strum with a stiff finger like this. You're gonna take your finger and curve it like you're watching the movie Hook or like you're scratching a mosquito bite. Okay, curve. Now it doesn't want to be quite like a hook. You want it to have a nice angle similar to the way my fretboard's angled now. And I'm going to come across the strings. When I go down, my wrist is going to roll slightly away from my body. You want a loose wrist. It's a loose wrist like you're flicking water off your hands. Try just down for now. And if it's too hard at first to hold your chord and strum down, you can do it without a chord. I like the G sound, and I encourage you to do the G if you can, but if you can't, that's fine. Okay? Now, as you come up, you're going to roll your wrist the other way. Here's away from your face, towards your face. Loose wrist. I'm not strumming from my elbow. I'm strumming from I'm moving my arm, but I'm not strumming like this. I'm strumming like I'm flicking the water. Just my index finger, angling it, moving my wrist slightly. It's not a major like this, it's just a slight roll. Strumming north of the sound hole, south of here. Once you can strum just like down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up with confidence, we can move on to the next lesson. Now, this strumming is just going to get easier and easier. So if it's not perfect at first, don't worry about it too much. But you do want to spend some time on this step because this is a foundation of playing the instrument. Once you feel good here, we can move on to the next lesson. Okay, sorry, that was meant to show you where you can take it eventually. But for right now, focusing on the basics. Once you feel confident, your first chord, how to hold the ukulele and how to strum, in addition to tune it, it's time to learn some new chords and some strum patterns. Dive on head first and let's have some fun. I'll meet you in the next video.